Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Dar Payne here. Listen, I was 8 years old when the National Organization of Women was founded in 1966. And, I didn't know what, at that young age, I didn't care about women's rights and stuff like that. But as I got older, the organization I thought was a good idea. I saw now signs everywhere. But little did I know that their manifesto was one of really conquest. If you listen to what their main planks were, the organization of women was more like a hate group against men, misandry against men, and against society. And so I'm going to let the woman tell you what their credo was when they started. And I'm surprised that it went unchallenged by the mainstream media, by men, I guess, about the men who were in charge at the time. An organization like this, if it was about race, would have been outed a long time ago. But since it was about women's rights against men, it went unchecked until we are where we are today. I'm gonna let this young lady read what their manifesto said, and I think that anybody who listens to this for a minute needs to go through and listen to what their main objectives were. Before you do, just like, share, subscribe to my channel, make a comment. This is not made up. This is actually reading from the first meeting that they had about what their objectives were for the West, for the United States. And then you could hear what they said, and you could see where we are now, and you could make up your own mind whether they were successful or not. I'm thinking they were pretty damn successful, and it ain't over yet because the coup de grace may be there when they, if they get Harris in the White House. Anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna let the woman tell it. Stay tuned.
I also thought the same for a very, very long time, that the people who created feminism actually were nice people who wanted the best for everyone and just wanted equality. Okay, here's what really happened. So Kate Millett, she was an American feminist, author, and artist. She is the founder of the National Organization for Women. Her sister, Mallory, was invited to one of the first meetings that established the National Organization for Women. So this is a feminist group that has been around since the start of the feminist movement, and they basically pioneered the whole movement. At this meeting, they gathered around a large table with Kate Millett, the chairperson, and she opened the meeting with the following back and forth recitation. So this is how the beginning of the meeting went. Why are we here today, she asked. To make revolution, they answered. What kind of revolution? The cultural revolution. How do we make cultural revolution? By destroying the American family. How do we destroy the family? By destroying the American patriarch. And how do we destroy the American patriarch? By taking away his power. And how do we do that? By destroying monogamy. And how do we destroy monogamy? By promoting promiscuity, eroticism, prostitution, and homosexuality.
Come on.
So this proceeded with a long discussion on how to advance these goals by establishing the National Organization of Women. Leader's sister says, it was clear they desired nothing less than the utter deconstruction of Western society.
The red pill and MGTOW.
There you go. Hey, listen, I mean, this is written from the notes of a meeting. Now, I guess you could check and see if that was true. If it was truly said, I don't think there was any reason for this lady to make that up. But getting past that, it's exactly what's going on right now. Everything that she laid out is going on right now. I mean, let's just take that one by one, right? Let's just go back and hear it again, just for the hell of it.
Author and artist, she is the founder of the National Organization for Women. Her sister, Mallory, was invited to one of the first meetings that established the National Organization for Women. So this is a feminist group that has been around since the start of the feminist movement, and they basically pioneered the whole movement. At this meeting, they gathered around a large table with Kate Millett, the chairperson, and she opened the meeting with the following back and forth recitation. So this is how the beginning of the meeting went. Why are we here today, she asked. To make revolution, they answered.
Okay, to make revolution, right? Forget about evolutionary change. We want to be radical about it. Now, we're talking about just a scant, 50 years, 60 years? But still, that's a short period of time to make generational change. But so say you wanted to make revolution. Let's go by one.
Answered. What kind of revolution? The cultural revolution.
Okay, women, right, can change culture, right? They're supposed to be the nurturing of culture. So if they go against the culture, if they break cultural mores, what's going to happen, right? If one group that powerful can actually do that. And so they certainly did. Now, understand that the pill also came out in 1960, which added to female sexual freedom. Not that they weren't they weren't having sex before, but now they can have it with impunity and less worry of pregnancy.
How do we make cultural revolution? By destroying the American family.
Okay, so by destroying the American family, even today, 70 to 80% of women file for divorce. They don't care about the children. They don't care about anything. They take the man's resources when they leave, and they don't even want to get married anymore. But it's been promoted to have your children out of wedlock, right? Most of, especially in the Black community, most women have their kids nowadays out of wedlock. They don't even care about the father. They just seed donors.
How do we destroy the family? By destroying the American patriarch.
Now, how about the patriarch? Men are less men today than they ever were. Lower testosterone rates, more effeminism, right? More, they attack masculinity. This is when we started hearing things about a man being masculine and some being toxic, right? And it's spread all across the news, right? We're seeing women in power positions over men, right? And men acquiescing to the whims of females.
And how do we destroy the American patriarch? By taking away his power. And how do we do that? By destroying monogamy.
All right. Now, that's a big thing, right? Because I think the hold on monogamy is not just a man thing. It's also a woman thing, because they also talk about, it's funny, there are a lot of women, if you hear them talk, the main thing they always talk about is a man cheating on them, right? So monogamy in the Western society had a lot of meanings, not just to control women, but also to control the spread of women across society. Because left up to their own devices, without culture, without monogamy, and women with choice, they would all choose the top 20% of men, right? There will be a whole bunch of incels running around, which they already are, because there's no culture. And of course, monogamy is in the eye of the beholder these days. Just a lot of people ain't practicing that.
And how do we destroy monogamy? By promoting promiscuity, eroticism, prostitution, and homosexuality.
Come on.
So, of course, I have a few videos on my channel saying that females are the head of the sexual marketplace, and the higher their promiscuity, the more chaos in the sexual marketplace. And I have a few videos on that. I've talked about that before. And now we're starting to hear women understand that their true power is, if they give away the cat, men are going to take it. So men only play in the sexual marketplace. We don't control it. We play in it. And we played it at the behest of the females who freely give it in the marketplace, regardless of how much it really damages women with trauma and stuff. We start to see that a little bit later.
This proceeded with a long discussion on how to advance these goals by establishing the National Organization of Women. Leader's sister says, it was clear they desired nothing less than the utter deconstruction of Western society.
So isn't any doubt that the West is in decline? I mean, for anybody, by any objective measure, is it any doubt that the West, including America in the forefront, is in decline, big decline, and a rise of homosexuality, and not just that, all other kind of things like all the alphabet mafia is an outgrowth of that as well. And one of the things that the feminists forgot is that by promoting these things, they also left themselves open for the attack by the alphabet mafia on women's spaces. And we're starting to see that blowback, right? Like there's unintended, that's an unintended consequence, but it's also that comes back on women. However, it is part of the destruction of the Western society. So without further ado, you have it right here from out of the woman's mouth, reading from a meeting of the National Organization of Women, how the country is being destroyed, how our society is being destroyed by feminists. By feminists. And they've done a masterful job of accomplishing their goals, right? What else is there to be said? I'm gonna put a link to that video in my description, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, there's nothing more I can say. You could believe this or not, do some more research on your own. But we are where we are because the seeds were planted 60 years ago. And the chickens are coming home to roost. Our pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over now.